Hi, so they say it's good to journal. I do not journal. I'm not good at that. So I figured I could do a video blog, but bear with me. This is my very first one, so I'm new to this, okay? I get to drive around a lot with my job, and so I get to think a lot. So one of the things I was focused on, I was driving by one of those billboards with the lottery, and it's at 545 million right now. I don't play the lottery very often. I probably play it average-wise, maybe twice a year. Anyways, when I do, I start to think of like, okay, well, what would I do with the money, right? What would I do if I were to win a huge jackpot of millions of dollars and I had whatever I wanted to do with it? So, which I think is very common. I think a lot of people do that, and they start thinking through things. And so I started thinking of, I'd buy land and for my family, and then I could have everybody kind of near me because they're kind of living all over the place. But I could have them around, and then like little things and here and there. But I started thinking about the fact that one of the things that I wanted to do was to start blessing those that have taken care of me and my family in the past, people who have given to us when we've needed help, and that excited me. Like, that's what I'd want to do with it, is to give back. And not only people have given to us, and some people they're well off, and so it's not too difficult to give to us and to help my family out at times when we needed it. But there's certain other people that like my sister that I can think of, and that they give out of their heart, even though they don't have a whole bunch of money. They are generous. And I started thinking about the fact that I'm not extremely well off, but I'm not as generous as I want to be. And this, thinking about, okay, I could win all this money, and then one of the things that I wanted to do with it was be generous, and it got me excited, it got me fueled. And then I started thinking, my belief system doesn't entirely match up. For instance, and this is what I was thinking about was God, right? So if we have this creator that has created us, and that he has made us and formed us to be a certain way, right? And so if he's put our heart together to be a certain way, and there's this deep longing in me to be generous, right, to want to pay back to people who have given to me, then how come I don't believe that necessarily about God? And I believe what the Bible says, right, about God. And if what I'm thinking doesn't match up with that, then I'm the one that's in the wrong. My belief system's off. And so one of the things, right, the Bible talks about and tells us is that if we pour out generosity on others, right, if we give and just see how much, if we give, then see how much God pours back, right? He'll open the storehouses for us. And I didn't even think to look up the Bible verse, but how much more, right, will your God, your Father, your Father who loves you, right, would want to do that too. And I don't live that way. I don't start giving generously, and I don't think of that. If I want in my heart, from a fictitious thought of what if I had all this money, and from that my heart wants to give back to those that have given to me, right, and bless others that I was just thinking of all these things that I could do with it, ministry stuff, and man, if I feel that way and God's formed my heart, he's given me a new heart, how much more does he do the same? Why don't I believe that about him? Because if I believe that about him, I'd live that way, right? So if you believe something about something, then you would live it out into action, right? And I don't live that out into action. And that shows me what I truly believe. And so it really changed the way that I looked at stuff. And I don't know, I just had to talk it out and think it through, and remind myself, like through this video, maybe remind my family, my kids, but a reminder that if I can, in my heart, want and desire to give back to others who have blessed me, like way more than what they've given me, because they just don't realize like how much it's meant to me, how much more, because God says, right, that if we give the measure that we give, like it'll be pressed down, right, and pressed over or something, I can't remember honestly, but it'll be measured out like tenfolds or something. And he has everything. I'm talking like, okay, if I won the lottery, right, and it's $545 million, right, if let's say I get about half of that or something, 300, that's my phone, sorry, but if I got that, then, you know, like, I want to bless something, but God has everything. I just thought, you know, that was a cool thought, and I just wanted to talk about it. So, all right, bye.